Okay, give me a sec. It's going live right now. So today we're just going to do some Q&A. If you guys have any questions, raise your hand or ask in the chat. It's going live right now. I know we got some baby elephants in here that Dylan's been working with. Enrique, Jed. Who else we got? Carlos. You guys have any questions for us? You working on any deals that we could help you with? Or is there something you guys would like to see today? No, everybody's quiet.
I'm having a hard time picking a market.
You're having a hard time picking a market. So what is your avatar first off?
I picked connector
Okay.
and yeah, helper, connector. And if I had to pick another one, I guess it would be agent outreach.
Okay. So maybe you start connecting people with, try to find buyers for, maybe our team. We have a lot of deals in a lot of different states, but we need buyers. So if you're a connector, maybe you could find buyers and connect buyers with some of our deals.
Awesome.
Yeah. Or you said you like agent outreach.
Yeah.
Is there any place that you might want to move to, or that you would like to have an Airbnb somewhere?
Oh, there's so many cool places.
Right. Well, pick a place and just start calling agents.
I would say, well, because I am visiting my sister in Arizona currently. And while she does have the room for me, it's still, when I have long stays, it is, still family stuck in a house together. So possibly in Arizona would be a good, maybe Airbnb place. So
yeah, well, start. What systems do you have? Do you have like PropStream, or you could just use Zillow?
Yeah, that's what I discussed with Andy and Channing last night. And they steered me back in a more focused direction, find my market. And then, because I don't have systems of my own currently, to use Zillow and of course, True People Search. So
yeah.
I'm going to learn how to do that, and also learn how to use Podio, they said. So
yeah, maybe Dylan could show you how to find some properties on Zillow.
that would be awesome.
But I also think that you should kind of figure out what your focus is, because your systems are going to change depending on what your focus is, compared to like direct to like agent, direct to seller,
Yeah.
It's going to vary.
Right. Yeah. I did try direct to seller, and I felt like I was very more salesy on the phone, compared to when I had to speak to agents. So that's why I felt like maybe agent outreach would be better.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that if I came across a seller, some way, somehow, that I couldn't speak to them, but cold calling a seller, I felt like I was more salesy,
Okay. Yeah. So if you already tried direct to seller and you want to do direct to agent, then I would just start connecting and calling like agents.
Yeah.
I would do that and then start having conversations. But also if you want, let's say Airbnbs, then you need to tell the agents, this is what I'm looking for. This is my buy box. You need to kind of figure out what your buy box is, and tell them what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dylan, if you have anything else to add, but that's kind of where I would start. It kind of seems like, since you're in Arizona, maybe start in that market, because sometimes it is easier to start in the market that you're in, and Arizona is a great market. There are a lot of deals. So I would start there and kind of figure out what your buy box is. And if you don't have like some money, then you will need to start raising like private money. So you're gonna need to probably start like social media, and people need to know who you are and what you're doing. So then when you have a deal, you can raise private money and people will lend to you.
Yes,
People need
correct.
to like
Yes,
trust
that-
you.
yes, I am making connections. That
Yeah.
is, that is a strong point. I am making connections. So the community is awesome. So many
Oh.
wonderful people. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of like clarity and like some focus. And you
Yeah.
can even start with a spreadsheet too. You know, like you don't like calling like the realtors that you want to like reach out to, start with a spreadsheet. You don't need like a platform like a CRM like at first, just have like a spreadsheet of like who you called, who you didn't call, when you need to follow up with them. And then when you get quite a few leads, then you can start getting a system.
Yes. Yeah, I have to learn how to do spreadsheets too. I am not a techie person, so that has been one struggle for me. So I have definitely some homework to do, some systems, some things to learn.
YouTube is a great tool. You can YouTube like anything, like how to use a spreadsheet and stuff like that. That'll help you a lot.
Yes. And I am learning that too. Yes. That YouTube is an awesome resource. I appreciate that.
Mhm. Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful like for everyone else too.
I hope so. That's why I brought it up, because I know it's difficult when you're just starting out and you can get that shiny object syndrome and be all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah. Um,
So I was gonna say, I think the reason for a lot of people not in here is because we're supposed to be on the new Manifesto platform, so everybody's calendar no longer has the Zoom in it.
Mhm.
So I text Carly to see, because I told her how it's saying 14, start your free trial. I don't think it's supposed to be saying that.
no,
She's
it's
getting
supposed to be
that.
free.
Yeah, I found it on Facebook, I think on your guys' Herd of Profits. Did you share it in the creative page?
Mhm.
I just shared it for today just because we were supposed to be on the new platform. So now I just posted on our Facebook and Paces, like the free Facebook.
Yeah.
Do that. And then since there's not so many of you, like we can dive into like a certain topic, we can like role play, we can like make calls, we can help underwrite. So what do you guys honestly want help with?
Ooh, that's a good idea, Rach. Maybe we could have one of our guys, either Jed or Carlos, role play right now.
I was kind of thinking that, but I didn't want to put them like fully on the spot.
Yeah,
But
no, I
you
do.
did. I would be fine with that. Because I know they are calling agents right now and they're doing a really great job. So I think that'll be like great practice. And like just to like have like a role play, we haven't really done too much role playing on like these Zooms. So I think that would be something good to do, and training for them as well would be awesome. So Jed or Carlos, kind of calling you out now. Do you guys want to do that? This will be a great opportunity for you to get some feedback. I'm at work. Okay, Carlos, no problem. Jed.
Sure, why not?
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Okay, so then Dylan, you are going to be the agent. And then are you bringing up like Dylan? Yeah, he is muted. Now you're not. Are we going to just go off of like find like a property, or like what do you want to do, like for like the numbers sake?
Yeah, let's Jed, let's just like, any basic one, right? Like, let's assume you're calling an on-market low equity property, and and you'd like us, you'd like some information to go ahead and send an offer. And then I'm just going to hit you with some common questions and an objection or two, and we'll just see how you do. So I don't know if you want to pull up the frequently asked questions or not, or if
Yeah,
you
I always keep it on the side here.
right on. Okay, good to know. Okay, so we'll do this live. Actually, let me pull it up so I know what questions to ask you, even though I know them. It's just easier for me to read them. Okay, I'm ready, Jed. Go ahead and give me a call.
Ring, ring.
Yeah, this is Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, this is Jed. I'm a investor looking for some properties in the area. Our firm is interested in 123 Main Street. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, hey Jed, sure. What would you like to know?
Yeah, so just seeing it's been on the market for a while, and just wanted to know if you know why that is.
Yeah, I mean, just the real estate market's kind of hectic right now, interest rates, so we've had a couple of showings, and we're just steady decreasing our price until we can get the right offer. It's unfortunate, our seller bought this property about a year ago when prices were really high, so they owe quite a bit on it. They can't, unfortunately, drop their price too much.
Right. Do you know if there's any flexibility on that top price? Is that absolutely what you want, or is there a little wiggle room in there?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they just don't have much wiggle room because of how much they owe on the property. So they can't
Sure.
really come down that much.
Sure.
Yeah, are you looking as this as like a rental property, or what do you guys look to do with these homes?
Yeah. So the name of the company is Real Estate Problem Solvers, and that's what we do. So we try to come in and help people with issues. In the case of this property, it's been on the market for a while, and it's possible that it might be difficult to sell. So we try to find creative solutions to help get everyone paid. So, for example, you're the real estate agent. We make sure that you get paid. We make sure that the seller gets what they need, and that that we make a good investment. So one of the ways that we do that is instead of getting out lowball offers that is insulting and nobody really likes anyway, what we like to do is try to find a creative way to get that property financed to us. And how we do that is what we call on terms or subject to. Do you know what that is? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it. All those Pace Morby wannabes keep calling me about this subject to stuff, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't. It doesn't really make sense to me. It kind of sounds illegal.
Right. So it's actually been done for a very long time. There's nothing illegal about it. The IRS and HUD-1 settlement statements both address taking over a mortgage subject to. So it's definitely not illegal. The federal government covers all of that stuff. Did you have any other questions about it that maybe I could answer for you?
Yeah. So how does it work essentially? You guys take over their payments. Do they still have to, like make sure the taxes and insurance are paid, or how does that work?
Sure. So what happens is the mortgage will stay in the seller's name, but we would take over everything else. We take care of maintenance, we pay the mortgage, we take care of taxes. Essentially, the house is ours, and we would do all of the things that are required to take care of that house, and the seller never has to worry about it again. One of the ways that we do that is we have several different pieces of contract that we talk about that we can go into a little bit later if you want to. But the other thing is we have a servicing company that will actually take care and make sure that all of the mortgage payments are always made. And our company has never had has never missed a payment. So we want to make sure that the seller is taken care of and protected, and that everybody wins in the situation. And if that's not the best thing that the seller can do, the best way, we'll definitely tell you. We'll tell you if there's a better way possibly. We don't want to force you or the seller into anything that's uncomfortable. And if at any point you have any questions, just ask and we can answer those for you.
Okay. Okay. So I think I understand it. You guys will take care of all the payments, make sure those are continuing to be paid. What happens if my clients want to go and buy a home once they sell? And this debt is still on their debt to income. How does that affect them?
Right. So debt to income is definitely a thing that we can take care of. So initially, what we'll do is one of the things that we can do is we can talk to the lender and show them that with a servicing agreement, that as we prepay a month or two in advance, that they understand that this debt is essentially becoming a primary conversion or a departing residence is what it's called in the mortgage industry, to where their old home is essentially being turned into a rental. And between 75 and 100% of that debt can be made by the lender to essentially go away, to come off of their debt to income if they want to buy a house in the future.
Okay, great. I'm sold. Right on. No, that was really good, Jed. Yeah, I think that was really good. I think you especially killed it on the debt to income. Like, that's great. Like, just explaining to them, yeah, I mean, essentially I'm sure you have it written down, but the primary conversion,
I do. I have a cheat sheet right here.
good. Yeah, no, that's perfect, man. Yeah, like the primary conversion, that's what they call it in the lender world. So if this agent has ever done, primary conversion or a departing resident, they understand what that is. So basically, in the lender's eyes, they're just turning this into a rental property, and they can eliminate 75 to 100% of their DTI. So that was great. I don't know if Dom is here or if he heard any of that.
I have had agents tell me that it sounds like a scam and it's borderline illegal. So he said that to me like 3 times. Like, I'm not saying it's a scam.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a Keller Williams agent. So what can you do?
Right. So yeah, as far as this, the illegal part of it, you definitely handled that well. Like, not illegal. People have been doing it for hundreds of years. It's a fillable line on a settlement statement, on a HUD statement, that you can take over this property subject to, and then just using, like add some credibility in there. We've bought 20 of these this year already. So I assure you, it's not illegal. This is, I would say 80% of our portfolio is where we've bought homes subject to. So we have all the attorneys on retainer and all the proper paperwork to make sure everything goes smoothly. Attorneys that's a great objection handle right there, is that our attorneys draft our subject to paperwork. So obviously not illegal. And then, so the one note I guess I have for you is like mentioning to agents how long their property's been listed. So that's why I asked if Dom was here too, because he gets these calls as an agent, is, like, hey, why is your property sitting for so long? And it's almost kind of insulting to the agent,
Right.
You'd either say,
I'm back, Dylan. I didn't hear what you asked me.
oh, okay. Did you hear, we were role playing. Did you hear it at all?
I heard it in the beginning. Yeah, I heard it at the beginning. Why do you think the house has been on so long?
Right. So yeah, I'll let you like just give some feedback on asking that type of question.
I wouldn't start off with that as the elephant in the room. I would start off with something else. Maybe look up the deals they have done, or tell them, hey man, this is a nice place. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Why do you think it's not selling? But I wouldn't start that conversation like that. I would try to find another way to get to them to just build some rapport. Like, you're talk about what you can do for them, and then just start asking them, what do you think? You think the house is going to sell at this price, or what happens if it doesn't sell at this price? Start asking those kind of things. But they're aware of how long it's been on the market, and like, it's kind of normal to be on the market 30, 40, 60 days right now. It's pretty normal. It's just not as normal as, what we came from. So I would try to avoid that question at all costs.
Yeah.
Unless you've already built some rapport and then you're like, they're telling you everything's perfect, this, that, and the other. Then you can go, man, this thing should have sold. I wonder what's going on. Something to that effect. But don't call them out.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Jed? Yeah. Like you just
Yeah.
don't say, basically you're saying, why can't you sell this home? So
Right. Right.
try to build some more rapport first, and then
Sure.
you can also stroke their ego. Like, yeah, I mean, the home looks fabulous. I can't, I don't understand why it's not selling. Is there any major issues with the home? Like, go with something like that, So yeah, has the market picked up this week? Do you have any good offers coming in? Yeah, Pam's also an agent, so she probably has some of these phone calls as well too. So asking, like questions. How's this listing going for you? Have you guys had a lot of showings or any offers on the table yet? Don't want to waste your guys' time. If you have a lot of interested parties already, selling to an investor might not be your first choice, something like that. And then besides that, I mean, I didn't really have any noticeable feedback. I definitely think you crushed the debt to income part of it. We could have kept going about like due on sale and all that sort of stuff. And like we went over to this morning, Jed, like, you did well at that too. I would say you're not trying to just information dump on them, which is something I need to get better at, because
I've had to pull back. I've noticed I'm doing that, and I have to like pull back and like not like here's all the information.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because you start to lose them, and you might say one thing and they don't know what that means, so then they stop listening for the next 5 minutes too. And so yeah, but I think you did pretty well. Is there anything maybe that you're having pushback on? Like the legalities of it is just you're talking to Keller Williams agents that might be newer and have never heard of it. So that's a pretty easy one to overcome, especially what Pam said, like, well, our attorneys write our contracts. So right there it tells you it's not illegal.
I had an interesting one. I used the have you talked to your sellers about selling it on terms? And she's like, well, yeah, all real estate is sold on terms. And I'm like, no, like creative financing. Oh, no, we can't do that. No. It's like, have you never heard of selling on terms? Like, or what?
Right. And that's too, like, again, like Dom said, where we're coming out of is a lot of these agents have sold their homes in 2 weeks with $20,000 above asking, so
It's 6 offers. Yeah,
exactly. And most agents are new. Like there's, I can't remember the numbers, but there's just so many agents since real estate has been booming for the last decade. People have been flooding the real estate market as becoming real estate agents. So you're dealing with a lot of new agents as well. So seller finance is just not something that's very common with newer agents, even some more experienced agents. So selling on terms isn't quite a popular saying or phrase, but every agent has heard of seller carryback or seller finance. So, and that's a good point too. You don't want to say, are they interested in that, or do you think they'd be interested in that? It's, have you had that conversation with them?
Or what if I could get you this full price offer or a little bit more? Would that solve everybody's problems? And then that gets them thinking, oh, well, yeah, I'd like that full price offer. And then you tell them, great, let me write something up. I just need terms on it. And then you can start talking about it instead of, because a lot of times Dylan's right. They only know what they know, and they only know what they heard in the meeting that morning, that week, right? It's not their fault. It's how the brokerages work. The brokerages they want the least path, what is that? The least path of resistance. They want that. They don't want their guys getting all really super creative out the gate, right? Because they don't know what they're dealing with. A lot of people, it's pretty hard to throw all that stuff at somebody, being an agent, creative finance, all this, and they don't want to get sued as the broker. So try to throw it out in that manner and not so much of, terms, because they may have got scared about terms. Like, what does he mean? Or isn't all of it on terms? You know what I mean? Because they don't know the answer to the question.
right.
I try to never ask them a question that I pretty much know they don't have the answer to. Otherwise, they're backpedaling and they're not going to be friendly.
Yeah, I've definitely hit that. Made that mistake for sure.
Yeah. And Pace has another really good saying is is as an investor, right? I can come up to your client's list price, again, meaning like I think they're overpriced, but I can come up to their price. You're not saying that, but I can come up to their price. It means I think they're overpriced, but I can come up to their price if they're interested in terms, or if they're interested in getting creative with the transaction. So, and then Nedra asks, what do you tell a realtor if they ask, oh, I lost it. What do you tell a realtor if they ask, what do you tell the lender? So yeah, Nedra, this is kind of getting into the weeds, and this is a kind of a higher level understanding of how subject to works. But what happens is, let's say a seller, right, if they sold their property on subject to, they leave their mortgage intact, right? A lender is going to see that and say, okay, well, your debt to income is now at 60%. There's no way you can qualify for a new loan. So what we tell the lender, and it's not necessarily what we, and maybe you need to clarify, are you asking what do we tell the lender of the underlying mortgage, or the new lender for the new loan they're trying to get? Nedra, if maybe you could clarify your question there. And Pansy asks, how long does it take to come off their DTI? So yeah, great question, Pansy. So there's a difference. If someone wants to buy a home, let's say within the first 12 months, we can show a lender a signed lease agreement. So we can show the lender, here's a signed 12-month lease with, a lease agreement for the monthly payments being more than what the mortgage is. And then that lender can show that to the underwriter, and it can automatically erase 75% from their debt to income. So that's automatically within the first 12 months. When it gets to 100% is after a year. So yeah, that's why it's really important for these sellers to talk to lenders before they sell their home on subject to, so they know how it affects them, which is what we always offer. I always send them lender contacts, even though as an agent, they probably have some. But yeah, after 12 months, we can show a new lender, hey, here's a 12-month history where we've made these payments and this seller has no longer made the payments. And then that lender can essentially eliminate 100% of that from their debt to income. So it's 75% before 12 months, and then after 12 months, it's 100%. Nedra says, oh, the original lender. Okay, so yeah, so that's a good question. With there's 3 types of loans that we hunt for subject to. So FHA, VA, and conventional. With VA and FHA, we typically don't tell the lender that we're buying the home subject to. There's different ways you can do it, but with FHA and VA, there's specific ways you want to buy those properties subject to, so that way the lender isn't notified that the property is sold. And one of those ways, it's a mechanism called contract for deed, and that basically means like there's several terms, but contract for deed, executory contract, agreement for sale, lease option, all kind of the same thing, meaning we have a contract for a future contract. Again, meaning like it's very similar to if you were to finance a car, right? So if you buy a new car, the bank holds the title to that car. Even though you technically have ownership, you can sell that property, you can refinance it, but you don't get the title in your name until you pay that loan off. So a contract for deed is basically the same thing. So in the lender's eyes, they don't see that property as being sold. Will the realtor feel that this is scam or deceptive? I mean, that realtor could feel any way they want about it, for sure. So we've had realtors who understand subject to, and I don't always use this story, but this is kind of like a good, way to explain subject to and why we don't want to notify that lender is, let's say, I borrowed money from Jed, right? I borrowed $10,000 and I'm paying him back $1,000 or let's say $100 a month for the next however many months. Now, if I told Jed, hey, you know, I gave that money to someone else and they're going to start paying you back, Jed might say, hold on, I never agreed to that, right? I want my money back. You're not going to do that. But if I never tell Jed and the person I gave the money to is going to continue to make payments, what does Jed care? He's, you know, what he doesn't know doesn't hurt him, essentially. So obviously I don't always tell them that story because it does sound deceptive, right? But what I tell an agent is, you know, we just don't want to notify the lender because they have what's called the due on sale clause. Every lender has that, but it doesn't mean they will. And another good thing you can tell agents is lenders, especially these large mortgage companies, they're not in the business to own real estate. They don't want to foreclose. If a note, a loan is performing, why would they call the note due? You know, if they're making their interest, what do they care, right? So there's no reason for us to notify that lender. Now with conventional loans, we're buying a property in Oklahoma City where the title company, this is new to me, the title company actually reached out to the lender because it's a conventional loan and informed them that we are buying the property subject to. That was new to me. I was like, that's a red flag. We shouldn't do that. But this title company said that's the only way we can do it. And we've done it several times. And because this guy has, I think he has Rocket Mortgage, which is obviously a huge national lender, they approved it. So they don't care, you know, as long as we continue to make the payments, they're satisfied with it. So FHA and VA, because they're government issued loans, we will tend to buy them on that contract for deed route, so that the deed doesn't transfer into our names, so they don't see it as a sale. So a lot of moving parts with that, very, very high level, but hopefully that makes sense, Nedra. Awesome, you're welcome. Okay, so yeah, I think that was good. Does anyone else want to role play by chance or have any questions about subject to or kind of what markets to pick? And maybe Pansy too, we can kind of go into what type of deals to look for in Arizona, if you'd be interested in that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah, but I do have to like leave a little bit before this ends. But yes, I would appreciate that. That would be great.
Absolutely. So yeah, we can do it high level in 10 minutes. So that way we can get you out of here. So in Arizona, there's a lot of statistics that show Arizona is what's the word? Overpriced, overvalued. So there's a lot of homes that people overpaid for, and now they're having trouble selling them. So as a connector and someone that feels comfortable with doing agent outreach, there's a lot of properties on market where these sellers bought their home in 2021 or 2022. They overpaid for them and they can't sell them. So these are perfect types of deals for subject to, right? So I would say that might be your focus, right? Like call some of these larger brokers like Keller Williams, EXP, try to get in touch with, you know, the actual owners of these companies, actual brokers, or you can even do just a Google search, like who are the agents that are closing 10 plus deals a month in Maricopa County, and try to contact them and say, you know, hey, my name's Pansy. I work for a firm of investors, and we are looking to help agents close their annoying listings where the sellers have little to no equity and they're overpriced. Do you have any overpriced homes that you guys can't sell right now or are having trouble selling? 100% they're going to say yes to that. So that's one thing I would immediately do, is try to assist these agents that have overpriced homes that they can't sell. And then the other way, and you just have right now, Pansy?
I'm sorry. What?
I think we talked about your systems. You're just using Zillow right now.
Yeah, currently it would be just Zillow. or
Okay.
whatever else is free at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, and are you just trying to wholesale, or are you looking to invest in some of these, like, or buy, or?
I mean, I guess if I had the right JV situation going on or something, I could, maybe get into something that would be a good Airbnb or midterm rental or something.
Sure.
Uh, but probably, wholesale for the most part.
Okay. And I would say too, for everybody in here that's just trying to get into wholesaling, the best way to wholesale is to reverse engineer. Most people think you need to find a deal, then find a buyer. It's actually the opposite. If you can find a good, 10 to 20 buyers that or have money and are looking to close on 3 to 5 deals a month, ask them, hey, what areas, price points, how much money do you have? What's your desired cash on cash return? And then now you have a list of customers. Now you can go find them a product. So instead of developing a product and then finding customers, it's the opposite. So find your customers and then find those customers the product they're looking for. For us, what's that? Okay. So for us, I know that we have a lot of buyers looking for subject to deals with lower entries. So and then a lot of buyers are looking for Airbnb properties or just long-term rentals or possible wrap properties. So that's what I would do. I would say, find your pool of buyers, which you kind of already have working with us. We have a ton of buyers, especially in Arizona. Like the Creative Finance page, if you have a good deal, you could post it in the Creative Finance, especially in Arizona, and you're going to have buyers. So that's the next step, is calling these agents and say, hey, do you have any properties that are overpriced and have low equity and are having a hard time selling them? So that's how I would start doing it. And then same thing, I prefer cheaper markets. So Arizona's good because there's a lot of buyers, but I prefer like $250,000 range markets. So for me, that's a lot of the Midwest, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas. So those are also good markets, but it's not a bad idea to try to build a network of real estate agents that are sending you their low equity, overpriced properties in Arizona.
I'm taking notes. Just
Okay,
so you know,
right
I'm
on.
paying attention. I'm taking notes.
Right on. No worries. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like just some simple action steps you can take. Do Google searches, see who are the top real estate agents in Maricopa County, and try to connect with those people.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Loans with Lily asks, I have a pocket listing in California. I can use help underwriting. When would be a good time? Yeah, Lily. So this Friday, this week, in a few days, we are going to be doing our Friday Zoom completely on underwriting. But we do have 15 minutes if you want to share with us kind of what your client is looking for, and we can see if it makes sense for an investor.
Hi, Dylan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, let's take a quick look at it because a realtor got a hold of me about this, and that's why I called it a pocket listing.
Okay.
Before they list it, they wanted to see if I had any interest in it or any cash buyers interested in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at it. And the seller's open to creative financing or some kind of creative solution. I don't have like a whole lot of details. I mean, I have the property address and.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start with that. Once my prop stream loads, let's take a look at it. And this is in California, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the address?
It's 20617 Grand Avenue.
How do you spell that?
Grand Avenue. And it's in Wildemar, so WILDEMAR. OMAR.
Okay, got it. And so first thing too is always to like take a look at what's around it. This will save you guys a lot of time on, like looking for properties. Is the first thing you should do is just see what's around it, right? So anytime someone gives you an address, if you're looking at a property, let's say like it was over here in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, I would just automatically say, yeah, probably no investor activity in that area. So maybe Lily, you can tell me a little bit about this area. Pretty close to Los Angeles, kind of looks like the mountains in the background, or it's on some land.
Yeah, so right there you see those two interstates, 15 and 215. Those are the major interstates, and
Okay.
they get you those interstates to like some local, like entertainment venues and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like wineries, I think, and I get it is definitely out a little bit in the outskirts of town, but there's there's almost 5 acres of property, and from what I understand, there's a single family residence and a mobile home that was completely remodeled, but the house is uninhabitable.
Gotcha. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, this is it right here. Okay. So can't see anything from there. So yeah, I would say right off the bat, right, like you got some junk in there. So there might be some distress, which is good. That's what we look
Yeah.
for. So there's a couple of mobile homes and a single family on this lot.
Just one mobile home is what I understand
Okay.
that's been remodeled.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say this type of property is obviously very unique, right? So you're looking for someone that is looking for a lot of acreage. For as far as an investor, right, you have to think, how would an investor make this into a profitable business, whether it's renting it, maybe like glamping, looking at the area, I would say this is probably not your best area for glamping, right? You'd prefer something a little bit more in the mountains. So with just
Mhm.
one mobile home on it, right? I mean, do you know what they're asking for it?
850,000, and it was listed before like over 1 million, and they had some price drops. They couldn't sell, so I
Yep.
think they took it off the market, and now they might relist it.
Okay. And then so here's also a good thing. It shows that they owe 516 with a 4.16 mortgage balance, a conventional loan. So definitely a creative type of scenario is possible. So I would say anytime an agent sends me, a pocket listing, right? So for this guy example, he tried selling, failed. I would say if he's open to creative, relist this property, have that agent relist it with seller finance terms, right? This, and just be that main point of like, have that at the top of the listing. This seller is open to creative finance or seller finance, right? Like subject to mortgage available, 4.16 rate, right? Something like that. They're going to get a lot more interest and a lot more people willing to not overpay, but pay, market value, maybe overpay for it as well too, if the seller is willing to get creative. So for me, I know what makes sense for most buyers. Obviously, most investors want to get into a property for typically under 10% or right at 10%. So that includes down payment, agent commissions, and closing costs. So if he's going to list for 850,000, if he'd be willing to walk away with maybe just 60,000 in his pocket and then seller finance the rest of his equity at a favorable interest rate, he'd probably get some buyers. But, do you know what this is zoned?
I heard it's she mentioned briefly that it was subdivided would be okay. I'm not really sure what that means.
Okay. Yeah. So also just knowing what is zoned here and what, like, obviously a lot of land like this, you're probably looking for a business, like someone that runs a business is likely your customer because of all the
Okay.
land involved. So someone that has maybe a landscape company, or I'm right now I'm looking for a property here in Colorado for a doggy daycare business, somewhere with probably like a half acre to an acre with, maybe like a single family home or an office, where we can, build some kennels and then have a doggy daycare business. So that's another possible idea. But yeah, your customer here is most likely not an investor. It's a business owner that is looking for some land. And if they can get into a property where they don't have to use their business credit, or, they can buy it creatively, you're going to open the door to a lot more potential buyers. So, but additional real estate investor, I don't know what you would put here. It doesn't, like, there's no
Yeah.
apartments nearby, so I don't know if you're looking for a developer or anything like that. I doubt it. I really think you're looking for someone that operates like a construction business, or some type of unique business where they need a lot of land. Because it's also, it's not a clean property, right? It's going to take a lot to clean it up. The single family home that's inhabitable probably needs to be scraped. So yeah, you're more likely looking for a business owner.
And what do you think about the seller who apparently needs to sell because they took out a construction loan that is being called due right now,
Mm,
and she didn't complete the project or something went wrong there?
yeah,
Any insight on that?
yeah. Did they take out the loan on a property, on this property? Okay.
Yeah, I think they might have remodeled that motorhome with it, but they'd never finished the house on site, is what it looks like. But I'm
Okay.
just curious if that construction loan is due and they need to sell,
Yeah.
what kind of creative financing solution would be available there?
Right. So that's where you're gonna have your biggest hurdle to get over. Depending on the size of that construction loan, you probably are going to need to pay it off.
Or renegotiate the construction loan.
Oh,
If they're gonna lose
Okay.
it anyway, I don't know the situation, but if they're gonna lose
Yeah.
all the money, somebody could come in there and say, hey, I'm taking over the property. This is what I'm doing with it, and restructure that loan to them. I don't know
yeah,
all the ins and outs, but it's a possibility.
okay.
Right. That's a good idea too. Yeah. So if they have this conventional loan, so yeah, you could go one of two ways. If the seller's in so much distress where they don't need money in their pocket, they just need to pay that loan off. That's a possibility where someone just gives a down payment to pay that loan off. Or yeah, maybe you can renegotiate with the lender and let someone else take over the payments on that loan. So that's all possibilities there. But it's just such a unique property, you're definitely, I think, looking for someone that wants to run a business out of there. So zoning is also really important, knowing what the zoning is and what can be operated out of this place.
Okay, no, but that was great information, because you're right, and it's not like an investor go in there and flip it or something and earn anything. It's mainly it's ideal for the business buyer, like
Exactly.
you said.
Or
Okay.
maybe like a mobile home park developer, possibly. It looks like a lot of these are mobile homes. So maybe someone could, develop this into an entire mobile home park. 5+ acres is pretty big. Someone might be able to fit, a good 10 mobile homes there. So that's a possibility as well. But again, it's all what the county is going to let you do, and what the zoning is. So yeah, it's all
My personal opinion, if you don't have a lot of experience in that area in land and development, I wouldn't touch this, because who am I gonna sell it to?
Mhm.
Especially for that amount of money.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have a group of investors out here in California, like really close to this property, that are always in the market for, I think, especially mobile home land,
Well,
mobile
there's
home
dirt
park
all
land,
over.
like you said.
There's
Yeah.
dirt all over the place here. I see from looking on Google, there's all kinds of dirt. So why would that one be so you know what I mean? So special of $800,000.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't know that market at all. I'm just,
yeah,
there's a lot,
I know.
there's a lot, you know, you could find an $800,000 place in Georgia, you know, or Arizona. You know,
Brainer.
yeah.
Mhm.
The scary part is anytime you're, I don't know this area, but it is, I think Pam said that's a long way from LA. I don't know who your
Mhm.
buyers would be. So you'd have to know the area and have some buyers in play already to offer them whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll present it to the investors out here in California, see if it's something they're interested in. Other than that, like, yeah, there's no way I would
Right.
touch it.
It's just so unique. Yeah, like maybe another possible plan is to like do some tiny homes and turn this into like an entire Airbnb place. But yeah, you can see the single family home back there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, there's no solid plan of attack on this type of property. So
Yeah, that was great though. Thank you.
awesome. Of course. Right on. Thank you, Lily.
Mhm.
Okay. I think we will leave it there. We have another meeting here starting at 5. So just wanted to leave it there. Oh yeah, Rachel Post, we have another meetup happening in Colorado this Saturday at 4 p.m. There's the address. It's in Aurora. Oh, that's good. I thought it was in Parker, but it's on Parker Road in Aurora. So yeah, if any of you guys are in Colorado and can make it on Saturday, we'd love to see you there. Rachel, anything you have?
No, I think just besides that, keep an eye out on our Facebook group for the new platforms. We're not sure if we're going to be on Zoom again on our Friday Zoom or if we're going to be on the new platform. So bear with us as we're changing over to the new platforms, but that's it. That's honestly all I got.
Right on. All right. Pam, did you have anything?
Yeah, I know we have the elephant challenge on Saturday that goes till about 3, I believe. So I know this meeting is at 4, may run a little bit late if I'm doing the elephant challenge.
And that means we're doing the elephant challenge, so we might have to change our times a little bit. The challenge is not always like happening, so we'll
Are you doing it? Are you doing the elephant challenge?
the new AI challenge. Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Andy and I are doing that. Yeah, we are doing that. So bear with us on all of that. So keep out updates for our Facebook with updates.
And Angie has
So I had text Carly because Joey, when he tried signing up for the manifesto, it said that it gave him an error. It said, this is a private community. And so this is what she said. Hang on. Wait.
I think what is that thing that says you're currently signed in is so and so. So that
It's my break time. Okay.
there's no voice text, you're just driving. And I don't want to text. I think what is that thing that says you're currently signed in is so and so. So that person needs to use that email to sign up for the elephant challenge with. So there's different communities that have Circle. You just have to have that email logged in with Elephant Challenge so they can be invited. Tell them to go to www.elephantchallenge.info and re-register. And then the first thing is like join our community, and then go there and it's going to say like either log in or it'll get you in there because that's the invite.
So you're going to want to go to www.elephant.
I'm putting in the chat now.
Okay.
So you would click that link and then you sign up, but whatever you use that address, that's the address, like the email address you would use for the new platform,
Wait,
correct?
isn't it Elephant Challenge? Or didn't she say? Hang on.
Yeah, I typed that in. I typed in Elephant Challenge.
Oh, I see. now.
.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, yeah, so that's how you're gonna want to get into the next challenge, and it's gonna be on a different platform. It's called Manifesto Circle. And there's an app as well on your phones. The app is called Circle, but when you're on your computer, it shows it as Manifesto. So go sign up so that way we can get you on the new platform, and we're gonna be doing no longer Zooms, but we'll be in that platform. And then you can communicate with everybody. It's a little bit better than Discord, but I think they got rid of Discord. Or they're going to.
Mhm.
So.
And we'll put all of this information like on our Facebook group, you know, so you guys will have all the information as well.
Okay,
You want to cut it?
well, everybody, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you Friday.